This is Group 5 discussing diversification. Our business, Solar Powered Powers, has now been operational for 2 years. Following the growth of the Solar Powered Powers, the company is now in a position to consider the idea of offering shares on the New Zealand stock market through IPO. To assist in the decision-making of this proposition, this presentation will look at the company Trustpower, who is a major company in the energy industry and is listed on the New Zealand stock market. We will be discussing the importance of diversification and how Trustpower has managed and used this concept. Following this, we will also discuss any recommendations for Trustpower that may improve the use of diversification in the future. Trustpower is an electricity retailer that was founded in 1993 and listed on the New Zealand stock market a year later in 1994. The company is the 5th largest electricity generator in New Zealand, as well as the 4th largest energy retailer by market share, with approximately 12% of electricity retail market shares. The company not only offers power, but also phone, internet, and gas services. Through their 6 values that consist of relationships, people, environment, assets and infrastructure, skills and expertise, and lastly financials, Trustpower aims to focus on value creation in the present and future. Commonly defined with the phrase, "don't put all your eggs in one basket," diversification is a risk management strategy that involves investing in more than one asset and ensuring that these assets invested in don't always move together in the same direction. Diversification is important as the strategy not only minimizes the risk of loss and reduction of volatility, it also generates return, stabilizes results, and preserves capital. Following this, diversification also reduces asset-specific risk, which can limit how much the portfolio will fall if stocks around it decline, and protects investors from asset-sensitive problems.
How has Trustpower diversified in the past?
In terms of product line diversification, Trustpower commenced business with a single product/service. This was power. From then, through the various techniques, Trustpower has used diversification to expand the regional market. Today, the company successfully provides homes and commercial businesses with power, gas, and numerous forms of telecommunications. Trustpower has utilized brand and product extension through a new mobile service in May 2020, a new Trustpower app for consumers, and renewable/climate-conscious energy projects for more sustainable power generation. Through time, it is evident that Trustpower also used this diversification strategy through the repackaging of products to keep up with trends, as well as repricing to suit the market. Trustpower is listed on the New Zealand Stock Exchange under the code TPW. Trustpower has over 12,000 shareholders, the 2 largest being Infratel Limited with 51% shares, and the Tauranga Energy Consumer Trust with 26.8 shares. Trustpower also gets its funding by the use of borrowing money from banks, e.g. bank loans, and bonds. With a diversified portfolio, you spread your money across many different types of investments, which is a key investment strategy for reducing systematic risk in the portfolio while maintaining levels of expected return. Trustpower operates 38 hydropower stations across 19 hydroelectric power schemes around New Zealand to supply electricity to Trustpower, so then they can deliver the power to New Zealand. To get gas for the Trustpower's gas service, they have partnered with some of the best names in the gas industry, ensuring a highly reliable service at a very competitive rate. Diversifying your suppliers is important because it provides multiple channels from which to provide goods, and if one supplier for some reason stops producing, you will have other options.
Geography. To be geographically diversified, Trustpower would need to either hold securities or have operations in different regions and countries.
Geographic diversification is important for a large company like Trustpower as it allows a reduction of risk and avoids excessive concentration in one particular market. Trustpower has utilised this strategy by extending their locations across New Zealand, with 3 offices outspread in the North Island and 3 outspread in the South Island, as well as other power stations and retail also spread throughout the nation. In addition to this, it has been identified that Trustpower has recently commenced operations for ISP network infrastructure internationally. In 2019, sites were built in Portland and San Jose, located in the United States of America. In the following year, Trustpower then expanded infrastructure into Singapore. Finances. Diverse asset base. Trustpower's assets consist of a diverse spread of tangible goods, including numerous and different generation assets from properties to ISP networks, environmental assets such as water and land, utility assets, fuel delivery and storage systems, controls and support equipment, and other tangible operational and service-oriented goods. They have recently renewed equipment for their major plant investments, including new turbines, runner and power generation equipment, and have upgraded their Cobb G5, the highest strategic value asset, with a new monoblock runner. In addition to tangible assets, the company's intangible assets contribute to Trustpower's success. These assets include the skills and expertise, process and structures, and collective knowledge of the staff and the community at Trustpower. The importance of this diversity across assets enables stability and management of the risk and volatility of the asset's price movements. Diverse income streams. A diversified income derives from more than one source. Trustpower has a diverse portfolio that provides a wide range of income sources, those being electricity revenue, telecommunications revenue, gas revenue, investing, and through their shareholders. It is important to have a diverse income stream because your diversification of revenues provides financial stability for the company, reduces business risk, and makes your business infinitely more marketable when it comes time to sell.
Diverse job opportunities. Trustpower welcomes a large variety of views, backgrounds, and experience. Trustpower accounts for the large variety of job opportunities that aim to provide an environment where people can thrive and have their individual needs, wants, and preferences valued. Trustpower is aware that diversity and inclusion lead to better decision-making, more innovation, and better capability. That's why in 2021, their primary focus was to broaden beyond gender and to change their recruitment process in order to help reduce bias and achieve their diversity and inclusion aspirations. Did the strategy work? Trustpower illustrates substantial implementation of the diversification strategy. This is evident through their use of the diversification strategy throughout their business and finances, including throughout their product line, funding sources, suppliers, geographic locations, income streams, job opportunities, and asset base. Throughout our analysis of applied diversification, it is evident that the application of the strategy is successful as the company utilizes this strategy against various areas of the company to ensure risks are managed and that the strategy's aims are met. Trustpower has taken advantage of this useful risk management strategy, and it is successful. However, there are still areas that the diversification can still be improved and better implemented to further ensure the strategy performs to its full potential and that the benefits are achieved. How can Trustpower use diversification in the future? Firstly, by implementing more geographical diversification. Having a geographical spread of assets in Trustpower's business can improve with supplier sourcing or product manufacturing across a specific region or country. By expanding beyond New Zealand, Trustpower can significantly expand their market reach and establish itself as a multinational corporation. Also, in the event of a disaster or natural disaster in one location, which is a risk beyond anyone's control, production does not need to stop, as the business can easily pick up in a different location that has not been affected. Secondly, by implementing more diversification in terms of renewable energy sources. As the world sees the negative effects of climate change, governments are starting to push towards climate reform. That, combined with the constant pressure from climate activists and protest groups to address carbon emissions and fossil fuel consumption, could significantly and negatively affect trust power, as the effects of this scrutiny would largely be felt in the energy sector. To help avoid this, trust power must diversify its energy sources. They can do this by investing in renewable energy sources, so eventually, when forward reduction on emissions come into place, trust power won't be significantly affected. Conclusion. After analyzing the data, it is clear that trust power has been able to successfully implement a diversification strategy that has allowed for a steady and substantial company growth since its initial IPO in 1994. Diversification has allowed Trust Power to become one of New Zealand's leading energy companies. If Solar Powered Pals wants to ensure a successful and steady growth, we will have to implement various diversification strategies that will ensure that risks are managed and that both aims and company goals are met. Although Trust Power's diversification strategy could be improved, they have been able to successfully diversify throughout their business in many areas like finances, product line, funding sources, suppliers, geographic locations, income streams, job opportunities, and asset base. After careful consideration and analysis, we believe that an IPO is the next step for Solar Powered Pals, and by analyzing our competitors, we have determined ways in which we can implement a successful diversification strategy within our own company and improve upon our competitors' weak points. Overall, by successfully implementing a diversification strategy, Solar Power Pals can considerably improve its chances of a successful IPO and continuous company growth.